And that's what Bobi Wine calls edutainment, where you mix entertainment with education. That's what he pretty much does most of his time, yeah? The song is called Ndimuna Uganda, came out at a time when Uganda was going through a phase of elections, and everybody thought, you know, it's going to be messy and all that, and Bobi Wine came out, you know, to use his music as a tool to keep people together and remind them that they're Ugandans, and Uganda is here to stay. I think that was a beautiful job that you did, brother.
Thank you very much.
All right, cool. I'm joined by the U.S. ambassador, just like I told you earlier on, Her Excellency Deborah Malik. Welcome to the beat.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here.
This is the show where we just dance, have a good time, forget stress.
Sounds like just my kind of show.
It sounds like your kind of show.
It does.
All right, cool. And of course, Bobi Wine also, welcome to the beat.
Thank you so much.
All right, cool. Talk to the people out there. Say hello to them.
Hi. I'm really excited to be here. Those of you who've seen me at all since I've been here know I love to dance.
All right.
I grew up as a dancer. I grew up as a
For
singer.
real?
I sure did. But you know what happens when you get older.
I know.
But I can tell you, anytime the beat starts, you'll see me start to move.
All right, cool. And of course, happy Independence Day to, you know.
Thank you.
200 and how many years?
240 years.
Wow.
It's a long time.
Is it the oldest country?
No, I mean, we've been getting to fights with China and lots of other places.
Man.
It's been around a lot longer than the United States.
Wow.
But we are the oldest democracy, right?
Okay.
So,
okay. Just in case you didn't know, yesterday was the USA was celebrating its independence. 204.
240 years. Yes.
My God.
Yes.
That sounds good work.
Those are four fathers times, I don't know how many times.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, but of course, a happy Independence Day. Bobi Wine.
Yeah.
How do you come in with these relationships with the U.S. Embassy?
Well, I'm a Ugandan.
People don't take you serious sometimes.
I like it.
I said, people don't take Bobi Wine serious. Yeah?
But I'm not a very serious guy.
Okay,
yeah, I'm not a very serious guy.
Yeah.
You see, as a people, we have, of course, lots of similarities with the Americans, lots of aspirations, our desires for democracy, for peace, for friendship. Of course, we have some differences at sometimes, but I would like to concentrate on the similarities because that's what pushes us forward, you know. Yeah.
Okay. And thank you so much for bringing us the Hen House. Beautiful, beautiful band. The viewers really love this. And of course, I just need you to understand, since this is a show for the youth out there, and you're the voice for the, you know, for the United States of America, they have their own concerns as youth. And of course, I want you to enlighten them how probably they could use, number one, the resources they do have, you know, to better their lives, especially their talents, because that's one thing that, you know, people within this age group really have. There are lots that aspire to be musicians, dancers, DJs, and they want to do that, you know, to better their lives. So probably you can talk to them and, you know, give them, you know, tips and, you know, ways.
Well,
or if there are any strategies, you know, from the embassy that, you know, are there to better their lives, you know, they're better.
Well, we do a lot of work trying to do outreach to the youth in Uganda, and in a way, it's a quite easy thing to do because you have such a large number of youth in Uganda. I mean, the population demographic, they're huge,
So true.
and the numbers are getting bigger every year. And so we see that as something that's very, very important because we say it all the time, the young people are the future of the country.
So true.
And so trying to help do what we can for our little piece of supporting, encouraging, helping to help them find ways to use those talents that they do have.
Okay.
I have been here only 5 months, but I have met an incredible number of such empowered and inspiring young people who really, despite many challenges or concerns, really are interested in seeing a better future for Uganda. And so harnessing that energy and that positivity in a way that works for everybody is really, really important.
Yeah.
So we do provide some opportunities for, you know, training and entrepreneurship and building leadership skills, but even opportunities like cultural diplomacy, you know, bringing the Hen House Prowlers here. We hope to bring other musicians and musical groups here over the next few years. Music is an international language. It speaks to all of us. And as Bobby said, it's, you know, let's focus on those things that bring us together.
So
yes, we're different. Yes, we're going to disagree on issues. But diversity is really that brings us much more strength. Because if everything were the same and we were all the same, it would be a pretty boring world.
I know. And I've been following the U.S. Embassy and some of the things that you have been doing. Just recently, they took out some film directors, Frank Jalai, Hosea. Hosea used to work with, those are people who, revolutionized video making, music videos in this country. And you guys have taken them for workshops in the United States. Which is a good thing. So how far are we going?
Well, I think the sky's the limit. We're always open to hear new ideas about ways that we might be able to help. And the wonderful thing about working with young people is that they have lots of great ideas.
Oh, yeah.
And so to the extent that we can capitalize on those and figure out a way to make them actually work, we're open to seeing what's possible. So as far as I'm concerned, anything is possible. It may not look exactly like what somebody thinks of, but we'll figure out a way to try to make it happen. It's important to build on that talent and that, again, on that energy, so it builds in a positive direction.
All right, cool. U.S., Uganda.
Yeah.
They are different. We are different, but we are the same.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's how fun it is.
Yeah.
So I'm a youth out there, and I look at all these things that happen in the United States, and I want to excel just like these people.
Yeah.
What do I do? I'm down in the ghetto, is there anything around me that I can use, to better my life out there?
Yeah, sure. The first thing is you yourself. You are the big deal. You are the greatest thing that could ever happen to you. And empowering yourself and believing in yourself is the only miracle that can happen to you. You see, we have a big problem of unemployment. You realize the youth are 75% of our population.
So true.
So we have 75% of Ugandans under the age of 30 and 80% of them unemployed. But we are looking at developing a mindset of not looking at the leaders for solutions. We are the solutions. If you look back in history, you realize that the greatest leaders made the biggest contribution to humanity in their youthful days. So we are looking at empowering ourselves. By ourselves, I mean those young people out there, showing them that it's actually possible, to use what they have to get what they do not have. So by looking at the Americans, who are the oldest democracy, who have quite a lot of confidence, and many of our youth look up to the Americans as an example. But again, we don't want to get them to America. We want to get the idea from there
and bring
here.
it home.
Exactly. Especially now, we, the ghetto youth, we want to get the mindset of not wanting to leave the ghetto, but wanting to make the ghetto a better place to live. So that is basically how we come together.
And I'm trying to wonder, what if the U.S. set up structures? Okay, fine, it's beautiful to take probably, Frank Jan, all these video producers, and, in workshops in the United States and all that. But what if the United States, created structures down here, institutions, that can train, the people from down here? Because I think that you train more people, from here than take 2 people to the United States. I don't know if you have that in plan.
Well, we do, to the extent that we can do, we prefer to do things here because we can reach more people. The money goes a lot further, to be perfectly honest, than having to send 1 or 2 people and then having to make that selection, who gets to go, instead of, this person wants to go, that one doesn't get to go. So we look for ways to be able to do that. But a lot of it has to do with the fact that, we invest in many different areas of activity in Uganda, and so it's really trying to figure out where we have resources, what we can do with them, and frankly, yes, to try to get as much of a bang for the buck as we can, so that if there are opportunities locally where we can bring in more people, expose them, or give some people the tools that then they can go and do and help others is really very important.
And besides the cultural diplomacy, any other things that you have as an embassy, as the United States, for the youth in this country that they could definitely benefit from, you people?
Well, besides cultural diplomacy, yes, we do a lot of work with young people, working with them and getting them engaged in agriculture, looking at other sorts of livelihoods that they can do, training in leadership so they can start their own businesses, entrepreneurship. This comes back to what Bobi was saying. You are the one, at the end, the first step is to believe in yourself and to look around and not wait for somebody to come along and do something for you. True. Things won't move forward if everybody sits around and waits for somebody else to do something. Okay. So helping people develop their own skills so they can think about those creative ideas that they have, new ways of doing things. That's what young people do. Okay. Throughout history. They put pressure on those of us who are older. Mm-hmm. They're impatient. They want things to happen, and they want things to happen now. Okay. But that energy, that innovation, that creativity creates a world of opportunities, and they'll be surprised what they themselves can do for themselves without waiting for everybody else. Okay, let's bring it to music because this is a music show. That's right. Too heavy. Yeah.
You were getting us too serious, right?
Let's bring it to music. So you've been here 5 years.
5 years.
Oh, no, 5 months.
5 months. Not even a year.
5 months, yeah. You've been here 5 months and interacted, with our Ugandan musicians. Any names besides Bobi Wine and Eddie Kenzo that I always see having pictorials of? Well, those are my big two so far. So
Bobi
Wine and Eddie Kenzo. Yeah, okay, so which is?
I have time. Okay. So I have to learn. I have to get around. I'm starting to get out and get around.
And which Ugandan song are you jamming to?
Oh.
That you wake up.
Okay, don't put me on the spot
before you start to be serious, at your work and all that. Which song, keeps you going right now?
Well, I've spent a lot of time on the African continent, and I just came from Liberia, right? Yeah. So. I got a lot of music knocking around in my head. From West Africa, from Central Africa, from Southern Africa, and now, and from East Africa. So, I try very hard, particularly as a diplomat, not to say I like one better than the other. I love it all.
You have to keep it neutral, yeah? I know.
I'm serious. I love all kinds of music. Okay. And, as I said at the very beginning, the beat starts, and the foot starts going, and the rest of it follows. And have you observed any particular aspects, about our music and how best we can export it out there, especially to the artists? Or you're not in that direction? Well, I'm not in that direction. I'm probably the wrong person to ask because I do like so much music. Yeah. Got a good beat. Anything you can dance to. I'm happy to. It sounds good to me. Okay. So I'm probably not very discriminating in my taste in that regard. All right, cool. I know what I like. How can you be of help to our Ugandan artists in general? I think in general, the established and those that are upcoming. Well, I think continuing some of these kinds of programs, the cooperation that we've had, for example, with Bobi and Eddie, programs that we can do to help get out the message to positive messages to young people. Sure. Bringing groups like my wonderful in-house prowlers here, having them come back to Uganda. They played for me in Liberia in 2014, and we had a great time. They did great work with the young people, with the musicians there in a country where all of their sort of musical institutions had just been decimated by the Civil War. So I think it's opportunities like that for us to learn from each other. Because it is a language that everybody speaks. Every culture speaks. They speak it differently, but we can all speak the same. Wow. Thank you so much for your time. You're welcome. Thank you so much for your time. Bobi Wine, any last words you want to leave the youth out there?
Yeah, the youth out there, it is your time. You're not too young to take up responsibility. You're not too young to reason for yourself or to know what you want. Wherever you are, take responsibility, believe in yourself. You can change. You can start with the little you have. Your talent is the biggest investment that you can. Use it positively. Try to learn as much as possible. We have a mentality these days in the ghetto. It's called each one, teach one. What I learned from the Americans or from Ambassador Malak, I teach somebody else. And I want that person to teach the other. What we learn from the in-house prowlers, we teach the rest. What they learn from us, they teach. Wow. So if each one teach one, we can be able to transform our communities as a people. Are you standing member of parliament? That's off the record, yeah? Actually, that's a rumor, and I wouldn't want to address rumors. No, but I'm talking to Bobi Wine right now. Isn't this Bobi Wine? This is Bobi Wine. Yeah. And Bobi Wine, the tabloids and the blogs, and everybody has been talking. Bobi Wine these days is in suits, is in the court. Bobi Wine is starting for member of parliament. Actually, since it's a rumor, I'll address it when its time is right.
Politician, but thank you so much for coming.
Anytime.
There's more music, there's more politics in the music industry than even in the parliament. Those are his words. Those are his words. Any last words you want to leave the youth out there?
I would just say, you know, believe in yourself, and let's all work together to build a better Uganda.
All right. Thank you. Next up, I do have the in-house florist doing a song, Sichalos, that you guys have been waiting for. That is in a bit, but we are powered by Coca-Cola. Test the feeling. I'm going to take it to Selector J right about now. When I return, the band comes yet again, and we'll be winding up.